Hello everyone and welcome to a new video. Today I am recording the January monthly favorites and I have quite a few things to show you today. January has been a very busy month for me. It's probably been the busiest month ever. And I am so grateful for that because I have been able to work on so many different things, and some that were extremely fun, some that were not that fun, like taxes, things, and all of those unglamorous parts of any business, really. So yeah, but it was a great month for me, and yeah, I'm gonna show you some of the things that I have really enjoyed this past month, some things that I have received, some things that I'm going to try, some things that I have finished, etc. So yeah, let's start. So what am I gonna start with? I don't know if I mentioned that enough, but I've always been inspired by the Japanese culture. I know it can sound very cliche, but I'm not talking about Japanese. Well, Japanese culture, it can mean many things. So for me, when I say Japanese culture, I'm talking about the craftsmanship, the old culture, yeah, like the artisans, the food, the traditional food, the beautiful independent shops, all of that. This is something that has always fascinated me since forever. And if I actually started to learn Chinese, it's because I had no possibility to learn Japanese. They were not teaching the language in my high school, so I chose Chinese because that was the closest thing to it. So anyway, I cook a lot of Asian food, and it's my favorite type of food, whether it's Japanese or Chinese. Not so much. It's not like on top of my list, like Thai food, anything that is kind of a soup, pho, for example, a Vietnamese pho, anything that is a stew or a soup with long mian with rice noodles inside is my favorite type of food. So we are trying a lot of different recipes at home, and we recently placed an order for Japanese products because we love miso so much. It's so versatile. There's many different types of miso. If you don't know what miso is, it's fermented bean paste, soybean, or it can be other grains. Actually, it can be barley, it can be rice. It's been fermenting for at least 6 months, up to, I don't know, 2 years maybe, and obviously the flavor develops over time, so you basically get different flavors depending on the grain that is used and the fermentation time. So all of that to say that I have bought quite a bit of miso, because it's something that we enjoy eating a whole lot. So we use it to make the simple miso soup, and we use it for making more complex soups, and we might be using it as for fermenting things, because they do a whole lot of fermentation with miso. So that's something that I'm very interested. So yeah. And best before 19th of April 2017. Oh my god. Have more time for this one. So I should eat this one first. So I'm gonna have a bit of coffee. Something else that I have enjoyed immensely is a little brooch. I don't know how to say that word. A pin. it has a clip behind, and you can use it on your project bag, or you can, I usually pin it on my sweater or on the shawl. And basically this is a little house pin, and it is from one of my favorite artists that is called Nastia. I will link the informations below because I don't know how to pronounce her last name. I have purchased a big frame, like a big picture in the past that I have framed. It's a beautiful house with a tree that comes out of the house from the roof, and I just love her work so much. And when she recently started selling these pins, and I knew I had to get one. I feel so happy, pleased to support her work, and I just love what she does, and I really wanted to get the pin. And for me, I don't know if I've probably said that many times in the past, but my ultimate dream is to own a piece of land somewhere in the middle of the countryside and raise children and have animals and, you know, keep doing what I do today, but I just want to be in a very quiet environment, very close to nature, and keep doing natural dyeing, keep creating yarn and creating patterns and all of that. It's something, I don't know, it's just my dream. I don't want to have any, you know, like crazy career and you know, like a fancy flat in the city is just not me. I just want to be close to nature. That's where my heart belongs. So anyway, I kind of collect small houses items, and I display them in the studio, and they kind of cheer me up, or they kind of, you know, push me forward on bad days to keep working on my goals, and hopefully they will come true one day. So I thought that that was really, really appropriate, and I really love it. So I thought that, you know, I could share a little bit of the story behind just a simple item that for me has way more value than, you know, just a simple pin. So I have a feeling that this month's favorite is becoming very personal somehow. So yeah, but you know, it's a part of what I do, so obviously I have to talk a little bit of the stories or what things mean to me, because this is what I do and this is who I am. So yeah. As for yarn, I haven't received a whole lot of things this past month. I treated myself to a skein of the wool barn because, I don't know, her colors are just perfectly perfect, and this beautiful mint, speckled mint yarn would make an absolutely amazing pair of socks. And speaking of socks, I will be recording a whole video about socks, some of my favorite sock yarns, some yarns that I want to try, some needles that I love, tools, patterns, all of that jazz. I'm going to be recording a video very soon with my favorite sock things. So yeah, basically I'm holding this on a little bit, and I will be talking about it later. If you've ever purchased anything from the Wool Barn, Maya likes to include minis in her orders, and that is very smart of her, because you not only get, you know, an extra mini skein that you could use for heels, cuffs and toes, but honestly you just want to get the full skein of that. This is the Rose Garden colorway, and oh my goodness, I want a whole sock with that. I just don't want the cuff, heels and toes. I want the full sock with this yarn. So yeah, I'm gonna wait for the next shop update, most probably. and the base is 75% superwash merino and 25% nylon, and that's the same for this one. For socks, it's just perfect. You just, wear them a couple of times, put them in the wash, and that's it. So superwash socks for me is no-brainer. I have no problems using that at all. More sock talking. I have recently completed a pair of monkey sock, and these are so addictive. It's one of my favorite sock pattern. It's from Cookie A and it's available on Ravelry, but I'm sure you've probably knit thousands of pairs of this pattern, or you've heard about it. Everyone is knitting them. I think there's two versions. There's the pearl version that creates a small garter bumps, and there's the no pearl version, which is simple stockinette between the small arrows. And I have no problem purling, and I really love the results. And the reason why I finished something personal, which never happens, is because it's not 100% truly personal. These are kind of a sample because they are knit in my own hand-dyed yarn. And I wanted to see how the colorway would knit up and how would my base would knit up as well. So I decided to take one of the patterns that I really wanted to knit, and I made myself a pair of socks. So I am loving them so much. I love knitting them, I love wearing them. I don't remember which size I have picked, but I think I have used these 64 stitches and I have knit them on 2.5 millimeters, and they fit great. So really happy with them, and I just love how the yarn knits up. I just love the color variation. I have used plants to dye the yarn, so it's botanically dyed, and it's so much fun to see, the different color changes. There's like speckles of dark purple and gold, and I really like them. So that's a very good what's the word? I want to say translation. That's not the word. Leading to, but what's the word for that? Transition. Oh my goodness. That's a very good transition to talk about my hand-dyed yarn. Yay! So I have been dyeing yarn a little bit, and dyeing yarn is always something very fun for me because I can play with plants and mix them in pot and dye yarn, and it's like magic, literally. So I have been dyeing yarn. I have a basket full of hand-dyed yarn that I'm going to introduce to the shop this month, so I'm very excited about that. These are my little cards that are going to be on the skins, and they make wonderful socks. So yeah, I'm so happy with these. I sent a skin to Dawn, who's Dawn Lady by the Bay, I think, on Instagram, and I will link her Ravelry name down below. By the way, she makes beautiful bags. I usually keep a sock pattern in here, and I was actually keeping my current shawl pattern in here, but I'm working on it, so I left the project back here and I'm working on the couch with it. But anyway, what I was talking about, yes, I sent her a skein, and she's actually knitting the monkey sock no purl version with one skein that I have the skein that I have shown you. So that is it for yarn. this month and I have received a whole lot of yarn. We're in February already and I have received a whole lot of yarn this month. So I will show you that in next month video. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna have coffee first. As I have mentioned in the past, I don't really have a whole lot of time for personal knitting, and I'm not complaining because I love my job and you know, you cannot have everything. In French we would say tu peux pas avoir le beurre, l'argent de la crémière et la crémière avec. I don't know if there's a saying in English for that, but it basically means you cannot have everything at once, and that is so true. I love my job so much and I'm so grateful that I'm able to, you know, work with yarn for the whole day, and that means that there's something that has to be sacrificed, and in this case it's my own personal knitting. So I had to remedy to that and I buy on eBay. I bought a sweater on eBay and I love it. This is my second time buying something on eBay because I've lost an auction in the past, so that would have been 3 sweaters, but I've lost the auction. So I only have 2 and this is probably my favorite vintage sweater. It's a fisherman's sweater and it has beautiful cables in the back and it just fits great. It's the perfect size for me, so I love it so much, and that's definitely a favorite because I have been wearing it non-stop, honestly, since I've received it. So yeah, please do not buy on eBay. So one last thing that I wanted to talk about is a pattern, a shawl pattern that I have completed very recently, and the pattern is actually out today on my Patreon page. So if you're interested in checking out the pattern, I will provide a link to my Patreon page, and yeah, you will be able to get an early access to the pattern basically, and once the pattern will be published, you will be able to get a code to add it on your Ravelry library. So yes. And I will record a proper video to introduce you to the homestead shawl, but basically it's been a favorite this past month because I have been wearing it non-stop as well. This is basically how you can recognize me outside. Yellow skirts, fisherman sweater, and the big cozy shawl and the pin here. This is me. So yeah, that was these were my favorites of the past month, and yeah, I'm excited to cast on with new yarn, and I'm excited for the upcoming shop update. I'm excited for eating more miso and wearing all of that coziness. So yeah, I hope that you've enjoyed this video, and I'm going to finish my cup of coffee, edit the video and upload it on YouTube for you. So I wish you a great start of the month, and I will be chatting with you in a couple of days actually. So see you and take care.